What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. This week's episode is episode 88. With me, as always, my co-host Matt Small. How have you been, my friend?
Welcome back, everyone. It's been another week, and we got a reason for that.
Another 2 weeks, technically.
2 weeks.
I have been plagued with COVID. It's actually my first round with it. Everything was fine. Kind of just a little cold for me. Had a little wedding. Little 25 of us at the wedding got it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew
Holy
that.
shit,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, good portion of us.
Good God.
Thankfully, my daughter didn't get it. Me and my wife did, though. Yeah, not bad.
25 of you guys.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I had a wedding, and no one got sick.
It was a good time, though. I mean, it was worth it. I had fun.
We're both getting to that age now where just weddings are just like... It took a while for me. I'm 32, and it took a while, but now I'm just like, there's wedding invites left and right for me now. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose. Like, you're not going to go to your co-host wedding, but, like, we'll go to this guy's wedding.
Hey, buddy, listen, I
fucking
didn't
with you.
choose a room.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, a little destination wedding might not be in the playbook for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
messing with you. I understand. No hard feelings. I mean, there were a lot of people that could make it, but
I was here in spirit.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in spirits.
In spirits, yeah.
But yeah, over the COVID, over a week off, we were gonna get back into preseason look. You know, a little look at the preseason, things like that.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird day in the NHL today. Today is Friday, October 7th. We're recording. It's just about midnight, so soon to be October 8th, but probably one of the weirdest days in NHL history where we had regular season hockey around 1 o'clock today in the afternoon, and we went back to preseason hockey an hour or two later.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
We did have the Predators and the San Jose Sharks facing off today in Prague, Czech Republic for the NHL Global Series. It was their first regular season game, technically the first regular season game of the NHL, but we still got some preseason matchups on the schedule for another 5 days, I want to say.
Yeah. There was that Prague game was actually interesting because we were watching it before even recording. And we saw like a bunch of like San Jose. It was weird. It was such a like a up and down of it's either San Jose Sharks jerseys or Predators jerseys. We've seen like Czech League jerseys with Nashville Predators logos on them. Like so you gotta appreciate the fans, you know? We're seeing like Vegas Golden Knights jersey hats and
Philly. We saw Flyers hat.
Flyers
But I think
too,
the cool thing about seeing the Czech League jerseys with like a Preds logo on the arm, I want to say that same guy had maybe like a 50 on the front of his sweater. Like there was a lot of history with it, and I think it goes back to show the players in the NHL giving back to their hometown communities of the Czech Republic and Prague, back in Europe, and just like giving back to their hometown, their communities. So.
Yeah, it definitely helped that Thomas Hertl scored.
Yeah, Thomas Hertl, hometown kid.
So it's cool shit to see. It's cool stuff to see the NHL, especially after COVID, come up and kind of spread it,
Yeah, spread the game.
And it's
some
crazy
more.
to see how packed that house was too.
Yeah,
because we were watching some highlights of some preseason games, and it's actually interesting to see. I kind of want to go. I didn't do it, but I wanted to see like how much the prices were for like these preseason games.
They're pretty cheap. I saw secondhand maybe $60 a whack for the Bruins, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like $80, $90 nosebleeds nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But one team that I want to chime in on, I jumped in on you there, but the Washington Capitals team, I pointed out to you, I said, wow, for a team that has such a rabid fan base, the preseason arena was very empty. The lower bowl, there were like no seats.
No one there. Yeah.
Kind of wild.
Kind of weird.
Because I feel like you go to a Bruins preseason, the place is pretty jammed.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, Capitals great team. Boston more like a hockey city, you know.
I think Washington got there. I mean, having a stud like Alex Ovechkin, he's the talk of the league. He's the Sidney Crosby Jr., in my opinion. Like, it's kind of a 1A, 1B right there for stars around the league.
You got a good point. Like
and
team that just won the cup.
Exactly, just won the cup. And even before that, with Braden Holtby in the career, the resume they've had in the playoffs, like I do think they have a decent fan base there. They're probably top 15 fan bases in the NHL, no?
They're up there.
Right?
They're up there.
I think they're over the lower half.
Yeah, I wouldn't say lower at all. I'd say that they're up there.
Yeah.
I feel like once actual regular season kicks, we're gonna see the actual fans in the stands.
Yeah. It might be a tougher season than usual for those guys with Vitek Vanacek in the pipes and et cetera, et cetera. Like, oh, Vanacek just moved,
Vanacek's gone, buddy.
Yeah, blew that
Darcy
one.
Kempa, bud.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. Ovi's still there. Ovi reels the fans in, bud.
I think so.
And we're gonna talk. We talked about McMichael before. Is his name McMichael?
Mm-hmm. And Connor Brown looked really good with Ovi on the same line too.
Yep. So it's a good team, local team, and I don't know. I really got nothing to say to that. I think the Caps fans are going to be solid Caps fans and, fill in the seats like they normally do. I think preseason is just weird for people.
Yeah, but I just think it's surprising. Like, maybe it's biased with me being from around here, but the arena's not full, but like the lower bowl, there's seats filled. I don't think everybody's paying lower bowl prices,
No.
but they're moving down there and filling it up.
No. I brought this up when we first started even the podcast years ago, like 2007, 2006. The Boston Bruins were awful, god awful, one of the worst teams in the league. I used to buy $10 nosebleeds, $10 by the way. I used to sit up there for like a solid 5 minutes, just like 5-10 minutes, just to check out who near the glass was not going to show up. And I used to literally buy the $10 nosebleeds, and by midway through the first period, have glass seats for the rest of the game. It was great. The Bruins would be fucking blown out, but it was a good time.
Yeah, I mean that's all it takes. Yeah.
Yep.
Matt and I were talking before the episode too. Speaking of $10 nosebleeds getting by the glass, I think that Matt and I are going to see if we can get the boys together and go do a college hockey game.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking to me that this conversation, especially for the both of us, came up as late as it is, where we live in a hockey state to begin with, especially Northeastern University, BU, BC, just these great hockey teams, and just haven't seen it, the Beanpot. We haven't, I didn't.
Yeah,
never
you
went to
haven't.
go
I
see
was
it.
class-side at Frozen 4, watching overtime winners, man. It's so nice. So when I thought of it today, I forget what we brought up, but I was like, man, me and you got to go to a Northeastern game. Just that's the team I thought of because of how good the men's program has been, and the women's, honestly.
Yeah.
But you were like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And then you're like, how about tomorrow? I'm like, maybe we plan this out a little bit.
Yeah,
and then I got to think of one of our other friends, Boston College alumni. I was like, hey, he'd probably want to go to a game. And now since there's 3 of us, the entire crew's going to want to go. So, I mean, we were looking at Northeastern, $28 a whack. That's nothing, dude.
That's nothing.
That's great, right?
$28 to see NU.
Yeah.
Top one of the top teams in NCAA. Yeah.
And there's 4 or 5 great teams around here, so I think that's the plan. We're gonna make a weekend or a day out of it,
Mm-hmm.
Get buckled,
Not even that
watch
far.
some good hockey.
Do they sell alcohol?
Oh yeah.
Think so?
Some of them.
College teams?
Some of them definitely do.
BYOB?
Devin Levi though.
Devon Levi.
Yeah.
We'll
One
get
of
to
the
see
teams
him
too.
in action.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It's an option.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these rosters are loaded.
And even the coaching
prospects.
staff too. We saw Jay Pandolfo, Brian DeCord, right?
Mhm.
A lot of big names. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it'd
gonna
be nice
great,
to get the crew involved.
Sneak in a camera, maybe record something.
Yeah, you get your phone. You don't have to sneak that in. That's coming in with you. That's in your pocket.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it should be a good time. I do want to record it. Maybe we can do something on that, but should be a good time. I was telling you too, where I went to school in Southie, our home ice was Matthews Arena for the Northeastern University.
Yeah,
Huskies.
I thought that was really cool to hear that, a little high school is playing, a college arena for their home rink. That's pretty cool.
Right. Some Boston public school, high school was just like, yep, that's your home rink. I thought it would have been Southie, the ice rink.
I
there.
pictured the Dorchester one too,
the
right up the
Dorchester
highway.
Divine Rink, but no, right at Matthews Arena.
That's
there,
pretty
too.
sick.
It was great. I loved it. It was such a cool rink to be at. But 2008, 2009, 2008, 2009, Matthews Arena probably looks a lot different compared to now.
Especially with how much the game has grown, how much ticket sales have increased, and how much the talent pool has increased too.
Right. The money they make is unbelievable. Yeah,
it's good.
That makes me want to go to a BC game. The more we talk about this, the more fuck. Now I want to go to BC.
I want to go to multiple,
now
dude.
I almost want Providence, UMass Lowell.
I almost want to take the idea of that Bruins fan that I saw. I think I mentioned it on the podcast. I was at a Bruins game. The guy has a blank Bruins jersey, no name on the back, but he has patches of every other NHL team going across the back of his jersey. He's got maybe 8 of them. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? What's up with this? And he's like, oh, it's all the away games that I've been to. So it kind of makes me want to buy, I don't know which college I would pick, but one of the college jerseys and do that with the other college logos, to say I've seen, them play this
That'd
team,
be
that
cool
team.
as shit. That's something else we should look at too, how cheap the
Dude, yeah, I wonder. Maybe we check the pro shop at the rink.
at the rink and check it.
Might
out.
not be that bad.
No.
Jerseys are expensive, but might be 90. Probably get away with 90.
It's somewhat cheaper than a.
Yeah, I mean, me and you
NHL
split it,
jersey.
shuck it up there. Be like, hey, we went.
We're good to go.
Kind of cool.
Devon Levy jersey.
Yeah.
We could be like, hey, we knew him before he was cool.
Yeah, Dryden McKay.
Did you write it down at all? We were just talking about some random name early, Vladimir.
Oh yeah,
God.
Orzgov.
Orzgov.
It was Orzgah. Was that how it was?
Something like that. Oh, I thought we wrote it down. I guess
Nope.
not. But
I mean-
we're watching the Nashville Predators, the Prague game, and we paused it at a certain point, and you could see like a bunch of fans standing, and there's Nashville Predators jerseys. And there's one guy stuck out to me because it was like the old school,
Like the silver and navy with
Yeah.
like not the. I want to say it's the modern logo, but not the skull one, but like in between there.
Yeah, something like that. And he had the name Oscar. I'm like, who the hell is that? And for a solid like 15, 20 minutes, we were just like,
We're trying to dive in, and then
hockey
we found like
DB and everything.
the Orzgov Cup, which was like a ball hockey tournament that he ran in Prague, like in 2015, 5 years after he had last played in the NHL. But I imagine that guy did a lot for his community, but all of it was in Czech or whatever language they speak. I don't mean to be ignorant, but I don't know. And we couldn't really find too much on it, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, I like seeing those jerseys where just like no names. You're just like, huh, this, like, you're a fan of someone that like a lot of people either don't know.
He probably was a name too, but we just didn't realize. He could have been like not a Sean Thornton, but a Sean Thornton to the Bruins. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Like one of those guys. Because
Yeah,
it looked like he racked up some PIMs. He played a lot of games. I want to say 3 to 5 years on the Preds, and then a couple of years here and there, and then faded out into the sunset kind of guy.
That's a solid comparison too, because now.
But I don't think he is though, because Sean Thornton is a very big name because of what he brought to the ice.
Well, what I'm saying is Sean Thornton today in this era is big. Like, say Sean Thornton 30 years from now, like we're.
But it's not 30 years. It's 10 years. He probably retired around the same time as Orzgov,
You know what? Yeah.
or maybe 5 years later.
Yeah.
But you know, someone like that.
Maybe John Scott, like walking around with like a John Scott jersey, like 20 years from now.
But that's
like,
an
who the hell's
all-star.
that
That's an
guy?
all-star caliber player right there. He's made the all-star game.
NHL All-Star game. You're right. You know what?
What about not a Matt Cook?
Who's
else?
the guy we just watched from the Pittsburgh Penguins? Agam?
Yeah, I wouldn't know him if you didn't mention him. I don't know. It's just a fighter that's just a fighter, honestly. Because
Just a fighter.
who the hell is Orzgov? You know what I mean? Like
Right,
just
yeah.
a fighter
Just a fighter.
for the team.
Yeah, you're right.
You know.
I
Guy
mean,
that you don't think of.
some guys make a name for themselves. Like I feel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But I'm trying to say like a guy that you would compare Orzgov to.
Yeah.
And it's really just a fighter for a
Just
team
a fighter
that
for a team.
gave his fucking skull to the team and his brain to science and got nothing for it, honestly, at the end of the day. As bad as that sounds, you know, he's doing great for the game, growing it back in his home country. But,
Yeah, you're right.
you know, an average fan might not know him.
There's a different generation of hockey too. These guys are just brought in to just fuck
Yeah.
people up.
The
you know?
2000s to the 2010s is where it was really booming and where it really faded at the same time. You know what I mean? That's where it was like, yeah, let's beat the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, maybe that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Maybe you should play hockey while you're on the ice too.
Ironically, the same era where Crosby and Ovechkin kind of came in right at the tail end of it, you know?
Yeah, but they always had skill guys. You know what I mean? It was really a matter of making a third and fourth line out of skill guys, which I want to say started to turn around like 10 to 15. 2010 to 2015 is when like the third or fourth line guys are also producing.
Yeah.
Like it sounds bad, but I think a Blake Wheeler was a third line guy on the Bruins when they won the cup. And he was a skill guy that was down that low, and now look at where he is now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that's where they started to realize, hey, maybe we could put 4 lines of guys that can really play hockey rather than beat the brakes off of you. And now we can have one enforcer on our team that will protect everyone rather than 2 lines of them.
I feel like we might be coming full circle, too. I think with that lost era, I think teams are realizing, like, oh, we kind of need those guys back. Not in as crazy as, like, I would say, like, a PJ Stock. I mean, PJ Stock was a great fighter, too. But I'm trying to think of, like, just a guy that's just, like, out there to fight.
A goon
But,
is
like,
what I would say.
a goon.
Not a PJ Stock, but just a goon.
Just a goon,
right?
Yeah. I feel like teams now are realizing that, like, not so much a goon, but a guy that can, like, step in
McGillney,
and do stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Like a Gretzky to McGillney
Right,
kind of guy.
Right. So, like, these teams, like, I have this in my notes where we were talking about Sheldon Keefe, the coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In practice, he was screaming at the Toronto Maple Leafs players, you know, you got to be more physical. Like, it's pathetic to see, like, this kind of stuff. And it's just a new generation of hockey players coming up. Like, with the goon era kind of gone, and like the fighting kind of not there anymore. There's a generation of these hockey players that are more skill based, and we're seeing it and we love it. But with that skill base, with like these guys like talking about like Sidney Crosby, we're talking about guys like Cale Makar, like these top name guys. There needs to be a guy like on the side that if another team, if the team they're facing, like it's a big game, a lot of these players are gonna come after them. Like, you know, like they're trying to like sideswipe like Sidney Crosby, take him down.
It wasn't McDavid because he ran into his own guy in Evander Kane. They ran into each other in the preseason. There was another guy. Oh God, I can't think of the guy's name, but he's a skill player. He's on the roster. He's playing in the preseason, and then some guy that's trying to make a name for himself blew him up in the preseason, and now they're talking about looking into like, oh, should there be hitting and like this kind of thing in the preseason? Like, I can't. You don't remember who it was either, right? I put you on the spot big time, and if I Google it, I'm definitely not gonna fucking find it. But it came across the DMs me and you have, and basically, the guy got ran at center ice, and no one did anything, and it's the preseason, and they understand this guy's trying to make a name for himself, but, like, that is exactly what Sheldon Keefe is talking about. You don't have that guy that's going to step up there. Yeah, you have Wayne Simmons, but, like, if he's not on the ice, he's not climbing over the bench to go do that, because guess what? You're getting tossed, you know? So
yeah, they don't have those guys.
I mean, they need a little bit of it, and I don't know. I don't see Sheldon Keefe calling them out for that as a bad thing, but it's also, like, that's not my role, boss. You know what I mean? Like, like look at the line of like Matthews, Marner, and Nylander, right? Let's say they're on the power play. Like, it's none of our roles. Who's going to step up and do that? I'm not breaking my hand and sitting out for 2 weeks so that I can not score goals. Like,
yeah, but as a coach too, you're working with what you got, and you gotta tell them like, hey, like this is what we need, you know. And Sheldon Keefe is just like, hey, like, well, even if it's not fighting, like, physicality is huge.
And at the end of the day, you're right, because Sheldon Keefe saying that is going to get one of those younger guys that's not filling that role to be like, oh, we need that? I can fucking do that for you. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be the guy to step up in the roster and be that guy, but just give me a spot. Like, I'll take $750K. Yeah. Better than sitting on a bus in the AHL.
Yep, I'll be on the fourth line. Yep, no worries at all.
Oh, he's not fighting for a first line spot. He's just trying to get in, baby.
Fuck no.
You know?
Yep,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many, like, within, like, the past year, maybe 2 years, I think I've seen some, I wouldn't even say some, I would say a good amount of plays where I would see, like, a crazy hit. It would be some kind of, like, dirty hit. Like, goalie would cover it up, and, like, there'd be some, like, cross-check, and guys would just, like, kind of skate away. I'm like, what's going on? Like, you're just allowing that player to do it? Like, you gotta have some guy in there to be, like, really knock one of those dirty plays in and be like, hey, knock that shit off.
Yeah, because
that's where you're seeing Tom Wilson like get away with the shit he does, because there's no other guy in the NHL that's willing to step up to him. You know?
Yeah, and the guys that are doing the dirty things, if they're getting away with, you know, an extra chop at the goalie when his glove's down, no one's stepping up and saying anything. Okay, what can I get away with next? You know what I mean? What can I do next? Not in a negative way to like injure someone, but like, all right, they don't give a shit if I chop at their goalie, so maybe I can, you know, keep doing that and put the puck in the net by accident one time, you know?
Like, how can I get in their house, you know?
Yeah. And now, like, if no one steps up, he's able to push that line a little further every time he goes by the crease or anywhere.
Right, exactly. So, Sheldon Keefe's got a point, you know? I think the league, not even just the Toronto Maple Leafs, I feel like the league just in general needs some more, definitely needs some more physicality, you know? Especially in a game of hockey, you know? You agree with me on that?
I do, but at the same time, I don't think that's the main need of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No. I'm not saying main need, but it definitely is a need.
When a guy like Sheldon Keefe calls that out, I think at the end of the day, going back to what you said before, it's almost like a reverse psychology in the sense of like, kind of, but it isn't. It's literally like, we need this, and someone's going to step up and be like, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think that there's bigger needs than that, but I don't know. I'll digress.
I feel like we're going to see more of Brad Marchand, Tom Wilson type of guys get away with a lot more because of the new generation of skilled hockey players not willing to take the hit or to be more physical and just kind of walk away, you know?
Yeah, but I think the refs also are involved in that. It's allowing it, but it's also not, because I think the skilled players realize, like, I'm not going to step in there. He's going to blow me up because he knows that he can.
Right.
But the refs will be like, all right, you can't do that. We're sending you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I stand on the fence.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird fence. Because also, like, hockey fights bring in, like, we're talking about the NHL trying to bring fans in, and hockey fights and physicality bring fans in. Like,
It's fading, though. Like, if you think about it, right? Like, name one team that has 2 fighters on it. There isn't one. There isn't one, right?
Yeah.
Like, name the top 5 fighters in the league. Reeves. Delorier.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Simmons. He's fading. Wilson doesn't really fight. He's the hybrid between Marchand and a fighter.
Yeah.
He's gonna piss you off, and he will fight if he needs to, but he's not going to. But I mean, there's no. I don't think there's any team in the league that has 2 rostered fighters. Lucic on Calgary.
Because we were just talking about the first game I was at last December for the Bruins, and I remember just sitting there like it was the Bruins versus Buffalo Sabres, and I remember sitting there just kind of watching the game, and we're learning about Tage Thompson, we're learning about these guys from the Buffalo Sabres, and I'm like, this is cool to watch, but
Thompson's going to be the leading point scorer for the Sabres this season. Book it.
But it did get a point. It did get to a point between, like, I don't know, like after the first maybe and the second and third that, like, the fan base just in general or just like the TD Garden was just quiet. Like, there was nothing going. There was no physicality. It was just like dump and chase.
I don't know. I think that's a product of the game that you bought tickets to. You're looking at a dead Buffalo Sabres team that doesn't give a fuck. It's the middle of December. Our team sucks. We have a lot of bad news swirling around us about back office, Jack Eichel, blah, 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 all this shit. Like, you have a team that's dead in the water, that doesn't give a shit, and now the Bruins
have some kind of, like, physicality. What I'm saying, like, is back in the day, like, one of the first Bruins game that I've ever been to when my uncles took me was, like, I still remember this. It was, like, 1997. It was, like, the Washington Capitals versus the Boston Bruins.
Dude,
and fucking Byron Dafoe, the goalie, came out and fucked up.
Yeah, that's old school. Like, there's no game like that anymore. And just think about what you're saying. Like, you're comparing a 90s Bruins Capitals to a 2021-22 Bruins Sabres, like, worst team in the league. Like,
I'm just trying to say it, more physicality, some, like, more fighting to really get, like, the fans involved. Because when you think hockey, you think fights, you think physicality.
You used to, man. I think that's a 5-year-old mindset now. Like, it's not. The league's gone now. It's not how it is. Gretzky had a McGillney, but McDavid has a Draisaitl, which is the passer. He doesn't have the guy that's going to beat the brakes off you for touching his guy.
Yeah.
Because there's no one that can touch him because he's that fast. And every team's looking at it and saying, let's just get faster, better hockey players and better hockey IQ, honestly.
Right.
So that I don't have to eat that hit. I don't have to get mixed up in the scrum. I can put the puck in the back of the net and get off the ice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Interesting take.
What do you got next?
So I did want to bring up, there's a few things I want to bring up here. I did want to bring up Craig Anderson. So I feel like I've shit-talked him a little bit for a while.
He's now officially the oldest player in the NHL. Is that correct?
Yep. I think
Chara's retirement?
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So Chara retired, and now Craig Anderson is the oldest player in the NHL.
At 41 or 42 now? Something like that, right?
I think, yeah. And so he had, I don't know what the gear looked like beforehand, but so Craig Anderson's 11-year-old son designed his gear because his son thought his original design looked terrible. So I'll have a photo for everyone down here. It's actually pretty sick. Have you seen it?
Yeah, you put it up, but I thought it looked kind of plain.
I think it looks nice. It puts. I mean, we're watching Jonas Johansson from the Arizona Coyotes, where it was like mainly white and like some kind of like
a little bit. It wasn't anything out there gonna blow your socks off.
That's more plain Jane than what Craig Anderson has. I think
it looked like kind of the same design to me. I saw a little bit at the top, like.
I think more so it has way more meaning. I think especially
I think
Craig
that's the cool
Anderson
part
than anything. It's like, hey, what I'm wearing is what my son wanted me to wear.
And I think the big thing for me with Craig Anderson, like his wife beating cancer and like everything that his family has been through, like that's the cool part to me. Like family means so much to a guy like that.
Yeah,
that's still grinding it out at 41 with an 11-year-old at home. That's like, I want to see you, Dad, but he's traveling for 41 games a year. Like that's fucking cool to me.
That's awesome.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's perspective because I have a daughter now. I have a family, and like that's how I look at things now. And like it's so wild how much that kind of shit changes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It means, again, like, it means a lot. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, he puts on the gear, and it's not just like on the I can't remember who the goalie is, but on the back of his mask, I think it was Brain Holtby. He put like his wife's initials on there and would kiss it before putting his mask back on. Like, guys have that routine, something to remind him of like family or loved ones. And I think for Craig Anderson, this is just like, this is my son.
Every
this
day,
is my
yeah.
son right here. That helps me out. So it was just cool as shit to see. Like, I do like the design too, like all blue, some little light in there too. But I do want to go kind of track back to me kind of shit talking Craig Anderson. I was saying how old he was and everything, and then I was watching like just kind of like his warm ups in the preseason, like a few like saves, and there's a mic'd up video that I referenced in there where like he was kind of like standing up, and I was like, oh, maybe he's too old, but I was realizing like a majority of these goalies, like I should say all these goalies in the NHL during like training or during like practice, they don't really try to extend themselves too much because they don't want to get hurt.
It's not even that. I think at the end of the day that the goalie coaches are teaching these players at a young age and, at the professional level that the less work you do, the better it is because you're saving your energy for when you need it. So if you're not overextending, over what's the word? It's almost overextending, but like with a force wise rather than a reach. Overexertion. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Instead of doing that, if you can create a finite movement and get the job done to be exactly where you need to be positionally, that's all you need. You don't need to do all this crazy Jonathan Quick, like splits, put your fucking legs behind your head, saves.
Right.
Like, you can get the job done by doing less, and that's exactly what you want because now you're more positionally sound. You haven't overextended one way and have to overextend back to make up for it. You're just where you need to be.
Yep. There's a video for the Vancouver Canucks when Ryan Miller just became a Canuck, and this is when Thatcher Demko just kind of came into the Vancouver Canucks, and they had him mic'd up, and so Demko's with the goalie coach, and from afar they're looking at Ryan Miller, and the goalie coach brought up the fact that watch Ryan Miller. He goes, it looks like he's doing nothing, but it's because he's positionally sound. He's not wasting energy. He's where he needs to be. And that's what he's teaching Thatcher Demko. And that brings back to what I was saying with Thatcher Demko, saying he's going to be one of the best goalies in the West, as I said, for statistic-wise, is because he's learning from a guy like Ryan Miller, one of the best goalies that, especially I should say, the best goalie, the best American goalie, I should say.
False. I put Jonathan Quick over him personally.
I thought statistic-wise...
wait, he might be, numbers-wise.
Yeah.
I don't have the numbers.
Numbers-wise, I think Ryan Miller's the best American goalie.
I think Quick is way better than Miller.
But to learn from a guy like that for Thatcher Demko is fucking huge because they put in a example of Ryan Miller's movements, and it looks like he's doing nothing, but he's stopping majority of the shots and makes it look so easy.
Yeah, which is exactly what they're teaching nowadays. So that just goes to show where the game's going. It's nuts.
It's insane. So, how the fuck did we get to Ryan Miller?
Back to Craig Anderson, the new Buffalo Sabres goalie.
Right. Yep. So
which is coming full circle now. Right.
Full circle. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I talk shit about Craig Anderson, but I don't think I kind of want to backtrack.
I don't want you to backtrack it personally. Nothing against Craig Anderson, one of the best in the league at one point in his career. I think he's washed. I think he's too old. I think it's weird for the Sabres to be behind him, but to each their own, and we'll see where the season takes them. But I think there's a few teams in this league that are looking at that Connor Bedard pick, and Buffalo might be one of them.
I think Chicago's going to grab him.
Chicago, Arizona's not looking too hot.
I think Arizona's looking better than Chicago in my eyes.
No, I disagree.
You don't think so?
If you have Marc-Andre Fleury as your starting goalie versus a Veg Melka.
Marc-Andre Fleury's from Minnesota Wild.
He is now, you're right. Who's the starter in Chicago?
Chicago is...
They moved on from Lankinen.
Alex Stalock and Vanacek, right?
It's close, but it's close, but I think Chicago has the star power that Arizona doesn't. With Taves, Kane, Seth Jones on the back end. Arizona is literally an AHL team. I think Arizona hasn't beat. Buffalo has a rising star in Tage Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona has Clayton Keller as their biggest rising star, and that's not enough to
we were just breaking down a Chicago Blackhawks highlight where they just look fucking terrible. Look like peewees out there. 3 guys defending 1 guy, and they're just letting in like a quick pass for a breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, like, we're just talking about Chicago Blackhawks. They're in like they just got rid of fucking everyone in the offseason, and like they're part of like a huge.
Chicklets was talking. I'm about an episode behind, but they were saying that Whitney thinks that Kane will be gone before Christmas.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
his contract's up at the end of the year. They want to get something for him if they can. That's insane. If you had to pick a team, this was the question on there that I don't think anyone really answered, but where do you see Kane landing? You need a team that has cap space. You need a team that needs star power. My idea that I was reaching for was probably LA. They were naming the Rangers as the team for that. I mean, the Rangers are already kind of loaded, but that also makes sense for Kane to want to go there.
I feel like Kane would want to stay in the East, to be honest, because Kane's been in the East for how many years?
He's on Chicago, isn't that in the West?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
But either way, why would he rather go to the East than the West, you think?
I don't know.
You were saying just to stay in his own conference?
Just to stay in the
So
own
now
conference,
steer it the other way. You want him to stay out West? Where's he going to go?
Oh, good question.
I feel like nowadays with all these young stars that are rising, just to give you a second to breathe, the young stars that are rising in all these teams that are getting the money ahead of time, speaking of which, Jason Robertson was at 6 years, $7.75 million. Great to see him locked up. But a lot of these young stars that are rising are getting the money ahead of time. It leaves these teams that don't have the star power, like, say, a Carolina from last year, not now, but looking to fill that role, like, kind of handcuffed and say, like, I don't have the money for you now because, I'm paying this guy for what he's going to be rather than what he's done.
You got to wonder where Kane would go. That I'm really fucking thinking about right now.
You got to think about where he's willing to go, because I want to say he has a modified no-trade clause.
Yeah.
And where the team will get something for him.
Yeah. And you think Florida Panthers would do something?
No way. Not after getting Kachuk. That's done, I think. They've made their move. Like, they're good.
And Calgary's fucking all set. So
Calgary also, because they got Huberdeau.
Yeah, and they just signed Uyghur to that massive deal today.
So a lot of money locked up. 6.25 for Uyghur, I believe, for 8 years.
So if you're gonna pick up Kane, it's got to be a team with cap space.
And I think it's a team that's low on the totem pole, not one of these top dogs like Florida, Calgary. I think it's someone that's either mid or low on the totem pole that needs the firepower. I look to Dallas, but then I see all the money locked up in Sagan and Ben, and that's not going to happen.
They just
and
picked
now
up
Robertson.
Jason Robertson,
yeah.
Finally, by the way. And, Anaheim Ducks, maybe.
I liked Anaheim, too. I like the 3 Cali teams, but, like, does he want to go there? I think he needs a major market. I think LA looks good. Minnesota could potentially be good. I don't know what their cap space looks like, but him with Kaprizov, like, that's kind of nice. In Fleury and net, like,
Jesus.
that sounds really good, doesn't it?
Ooh.
And then look north of the border. I don't know if he really wants, being American-born, the media pressure, the spotlight. He's not old, but later in his career. Toronto's locked. Montreal's an option, but they're not great. Why would he want to go there? What's the drive? Same with Ottawa. Same with Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver might be nice. JT Miller. I don't know what their cap situation's like, but I'm really going all over the map here.
You're right.
And I think I lean Cali.
But
I don't think
But
he
that's
wants...
definitely west. Like, we were just talking about Vancouver. Like, yeah, Vancouver's, like, right there, like, right above Cali, so...
But then look, Metro. Think about how weak the Metro is. If he came into a Metro team and gave him the boost to get over the hump, Pittsburgh doesn't have it. They locked in their core that they like, their longest tenured trio in Major League Sports with Letang, Malkin, and Crosby. They locked that in for a lot of money. I think the Capitals are set with that. They already have their money locked into... Ovi and Backstrom, and, Devils might be kind of nice, but I don't think he's interested in that.
So
Hughes, Palat.
This should all be... So to talk about, I should say, to go back to what we're talking about, I think we're talking about more so signs, whereas this would be like a deadline, a trade deadline move.
But I was thinking the same thing, but the thing they mentioned on Chicklets is Whitney thinks he's gone before Christmas, like soon.
Shit.
Right? That's only 2.5 months away.
Yeah. God, it's going to be...
But you're right. I would think deadline too, but I think Kane's just like, get me out of here for whatever you can. They also mentioned a 3-way trade. That might be an option too. If one guy's retaining, like, salary cap space. Because he's $10.5 million. And now you have a guy that retains X amount of dollars, gets this prospect and this player, and then Kane actually goes to this third team. A team like Buffalo has a lot of cap space, but I think Kane is from Buffalo as well. It's his hometown, so
Buffalo might be a good
could
spot.
be. But why would he want to go there? They don't look too great. He's not the guy that's going to get him over the hump.
Or
They're tanking for Bedard, bro.
what about Stevie Y, Detroit?
Detroit is definitely a good look with the young rising stars they have.
Mm-hmm.
A good veteran presence. He's gotten the job done 3 times.
Yep. I wanted to bring up Detroit anyway to begin with because
Let's go there.
we were talking about Detroit. I came here and I was like, have you seen any of the games? And I was like, dude, check out Detroit. I remember we were talking about Detroit picking up Billy Huso, and I was like, that's a fucking solid pickup. Like, as we were talking about the trades and pickups for everyone, and he has been great. Although you said great words too, just like take it with a grain of salt because it's just preseason, it's not the regular season. But
I think to see him shine in that light with a brand new team is it still says pages about him.
Mm-hmm. So I still think Billy Hughes is a great pickup. I still right now think Stevie Y is just insanely good at like grabbing talent that like the team needs because they looked really good.
I had no idea what the post I just saw was. I was looking at the comments. Every comment said Iser plan.
Mm-hmm.
Iser plan. The Iser plan. Let's go.
All for it. I want to see the Detroit Red Wings come back. There was like the 2008-2009 where it was Detroit Red Wings and Pittsburgh Penguins like back to back in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like that type of team.
Yeah.
I want to see it again. I think they're getting really close. I think Stevie Y is getting his shit done.
I think it's so funny to see the parity in the league where you have teams like Tampa, Colorado, and I'll even lump the New York Islanders in there where they're like, this is our roster, these are our guys, let's run it and see what happens. Like, we're not going to make a shit ton of moves and stuff. I think Colorado definitely did this year, but it doesn't, support my case. But all I mean is they have their core, they're building around them, and, like, that's their guys. Like, we're set for X amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have guys that are in the middle, like we're close with Boston and Pittsburgh, Washington, those guys are all kind of in the mix in the middle that are like, we don't really, like, you can't really tell which way they're going to go, right? It's like we have our core, but like they aren't the guys that are getting over the hump to be like, we have a great opportunity to win the cup, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the guys at the bottom of the barrel that are like, we don't give a fuck. You can take our players, like Chicago, Buffalo, Arizona, like we don't care.
Yeah.
And as bad as that sounds, like obviously they do care, but like the plan for this season is to like grow, develop, tank.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like those two are mutually exclusive, but they're not. You can tank while also growing and developing your players. You're giving them solid ice time, solid touches against the top talent in the league and teaching them what it's like to be in the NHL. And at the end of the day, look at Detroit. Mm-hmm. That was them 4 or 5 years ago, don't you think? Like with young guys that don't really have the experience, and now they're getting their time, their reps, their losses, honestly.
Well, Detroit for a while had an issue with old players. Like they had old guys, and the organization at the time was just like, we'll just keep veterans in here instead of like,
and we'll pay them.
Yeah, and
it'll lock up our salary cap.
Right. They'll do that before they'll bring up like the newer, younger guys to really show them. And I think that's what really fucked up Detroit. And I think it hurt him a lot when Jimmy Howard was like, I'm going to retire. And I think that's when Detroit, Stevie Yzerman was like, we need to fucking like.
You got to revamp big time. You got to change your focus and your objectives. You got to get the new guys up and running, like you're saying, definitely. And I think a big part of this is, as they mentioned on Chicklets, I'm just like basically repeating what I've caught up on being out for 2 weeks with COVID. The salary cap has been pretty stagnant, pretty flat at around 80 to 85 is where, like, it's 82.5 right now, but like, let's call it 75 to 82.5. It's been pretty flat there at about 80 mil. And soon it's going to pop because as much as the owners lost money during COVID, with inflation, everything else going on in the world, it's going to bump up soon, and it could go up to 90 to 100 soon. Like, I think the triple-digit mark is going to be there. The league is growing and developing well. The TNT crew is expanding the game. You have guys getting active with mic'd-up videos, everything in the world right now with social media. And you have people that are retiring, like PK Subban, who's a great media presence, to grow the game even more off the ice.
Yeah.
And that is what is going to drive dollars into the game, dollars into the league and the sport, and grow it to be the potential that it really can be.
So, adding to that too, Bar Down is part of TSN, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I was watching a TSN where they had Jesse Pollock. I think that's his name. He was part of the whole, like, the
panel.
Whole, the
they have a
front
big panel
and
there,
everything too. Yeah, and so like it's just great to see. I won't say great, but it's like a perfect example to see this, like the expansion of everything too. We're just like, we're gonna bring in social media. We're gonna bring in like these Bar Down fans, and like especially Jesse Pollock, who's like the face of like Bar Down,
which sucks in my opinion. I'm gonna flame him right now. He makes these videos where like, this guy forgot his shin pad and he's stuffing his sock with other socks. I'm like, no, he didn't. He's just doing this for clicks and views.
Yeah, there's a few
tough ones.
There's a few tough ones. There's one there's like, you have to drink an entire milk every period.
Oh, that was hilarious, dude. That one's kind of funny. But like the ones where he's like, oh no, this guy has this dumb helmet. Like, all right, easy now.
He's a huge Winnipeg Jets.
He is, and he's also growing the game more than any of us bozos. Like he's doing a lot for the sport of hockey.
Yeah. So you gotta have that in mind. We're just like,
it's biased.
It's
biased as all hell.
It's biased. Yeah.
I like when he's a Winnipeg Jets fan in Toronto, asking them why they won't get out of the first round this year. Like he's asking them like the most absurd questions. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. He's just pissing the entire city off.
But Paul Bissonnette, the whole Spit and Chicklets fucking cast, man, they have exploded. I think the whole pickup for Paul Bissonnette has been so good for just NHL, just in general, with like his whole presence. With I feel like he's such like, I'm kind of like an introvert to begin with, but I feel like speaking of Paul Bissonnette, he is out there, man. You look at Paul Bissonnette like just on YouTube or whatever, he's always doing like something. He's part of like
he's got his money spread out like an investor would in all these businesses. He's trying to grow everything he can. He's trying to be out there. He's doing the sandbagger with the golf with Ryan Whitney. He's doing Biz Nasty does BC. Biz Nasty does the coast. So he's out in British Columbia showing people like what the world's like out there. He's doing Biz Nasty does the coast was all about ECHL. He did a Pink Whitney tour across Canada. Like he's just doing everything he can, which is awesome, man.
And he's all golf, so he's getting like the golf fans into hockey too. He's again like all the people like Pink Whitney and stuff. Like
dude, you think about 15 years ago when the agent that he had told him like, you got to shut your Twitter off because Biz Nasty got like shut down. Like he was doing some wild shit.
Really?
Like, yeah, bad things. They like shut him down, and then like it wasn't even like the team shut him down. His agent was like, you need to stop this. So he was kind of ahead of his time in that sense, and now like it's almost come full circle where they're like, you need to stop, and now it's like, no, you got to fucking do that. Like you got to do it.
Right.
He's like almost getting like kicked off the air on TNT with the shit he's saying.
It's insane. Yeah, but. Like we're talking about Trap for Oilers, how you're just like, dude, he comments on everything.
Oh, it's so brutal. It's such a tough look. Like I didn't have anything positive or negative to say about Trap 4, but like the fact that you're just like grubbing off of this platform is like kind of disgusting to me. He comments on every Chicklets post.
For me, especially since doing the podcast, especially since trying to get this out, like as a guy just like scrolling Instagram, like, oh God. But the only reason why you see it is because of all the likes. Like he's commenting, he's getting the likes, he's getting like people to.
He's got post notifications on for Chicklets. I guarantee it. The second his phone goes off and it says Chicklets has a new post, he's coming up with the smartest, wittiest thing he can come up with, commenting it and getting the likes because he's not even like commenting the funny like the things that are like. Everyone kind of agrees with. He's commenting like the polarizing, like 50% of the population is going to hate me for it, but 50% is going to love me for it. So I'm going to get those 50 to like it first, and now here I go.
But guess what he's done? He's got his name in your mouth talking about him.
Exactly.
Which is a business plan and a half.
Right. It's Felger and Maz.
Right.
It's you with 98.5.
Exactly.
You with 98.5 is me with Trav 4.
Fucking exactly. Yeah. Exactly. He's doing a good job.
I haven't listened to his podcast too. He's got Slang in the Biscuit. Have you heard of that one?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he co-hosts with, but I think he's the main face for it. But
he played for University of Maine, I think.
Listen, I wish him the best of luck, but at the end of the day, like I just can't stand the fact that you're like leeching off of like Chicklets. It's fucked up.
It is like that, man.
It's kind of fucked up. Do be like that sometimes.
It do be like that. It's all right. It's all right. He knows what he's doing.
This episode's very loose, and I love it.
I love it.
We're flying right now.
We had no
Everyone's
notes.
gonna hate it.
We had 0 notes. It's fine.
We're not talking hockey at all.
No. Yeah, man. Trav.
You were big about him back in the day, right?
No, I still like him.
Yeah, but like back in the day, you were like a heavy investor in him, right?
Yeah, because back in the day when I was on GGSU, like we still talk. Like I could,
nice,
I
dude.
could DM him and just like.
Yeah, that's because he's got his phone in
shit.
his hand while he's on the ice. He doesn't give a shit, dude. I'll answer any DM right now. I'll talk to anyone.
I would like him on.
He can come on. Yeah, that's fine.
Come on. Okay, we just can't.
He's not gonna come on here.
Talk
He's got his own podcast. He doesn't want to come on this.
I mean, we could
We can link up.
Yeah, we could look up.
He's not gonna like what I have to say, but
Nope.
I'll have a conversation about it. I'll be a grown man.
He's
I'll
heard
back
worse.
my opinion.
This is why I like him because he's heard worse. He's heard it all. Like I don't know if you see it, but like I see it all the time. Like we'll post something on YouTube or I'll post something. Well, it's mainly YouTube. We're just like we'll put up a new video or whatever, and like it's so easy for like these keyboard warriors to just like jump on and be like, "Fucking podcast is shit." Like this is this. You guys really double chin, whatever the fuck, and. But
Hey, what's wrong with my double chin?
I don't know. People.
I don't know how they
shit.
see it. I cover it up with my neck beard.
People just talking shit. But what I've realized is too is like the people who actually like us, they like it. They don't really say much, to be honest.
Dude, the thing at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of hate in the world, and it's definitely a vocal minority, and it's fine if you don't like us. It's great. I have seen these comments that you're talking about, and it's fine. I want to leave them up. I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I want an opinion out of you.
Right.
If you're gonna comment and be like,
It's
"You guys
not an
suck,"
opinion.
I want, back it up. Tell me why I suck. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong.
Right.
And if I'm right, like, I mean, I might not be right.
Right.
I don't care. I'll talk to you and have an educated conversation about hockey because
Thank
that's
you.
what me and you are here to do.
Yep, exactly. I'm here to have an adult conversation. If I fuck
It
up,
doesn't even have to be an adult conversation. It's fine. You want to call me a poo-poo head? That's cool.
Yeah, that's
But, like, let me know.
right? Yeah.
I want to know why.
Like,
why am I a poo-poo head?
I recently messed up. Someone put up. Oh God, I can't remember for life.
I thought the best one, dude. Hold on. I'm going to jump on you right now.
Yeah.
The best one I saw was, Florida Panthers taking a 47-point swing for this team to be above them. It's like, he's like, how many times has this happened in NHL history? I'm like, that's a good
Thank
question.
you. That's
That
a
has
great
never
question.
happened. Could have been maybe my potential gander here is San Jose going to the conference finals one year, the next year being one of the worst teams in the league. That's the only one I could think of. But
Right. And
I was like, dude, flame mad for that. I'm so for it. 47-point swing for the Panthers.
I'm all for getting flamed because the whole intention with the whole like breakdowns and everything was just to throw curveballs into shit. Like fucking Toronto Maple Leafs in first.
But
And
why, Matt? It's not.
you never know. You never know.
You don't, but you have no backing behind the reasoning.
I don't.
Which isn't why we're here. We're not here to make a pick and be like, oh, the Yotes are going to win the cup this year.
Yeah, but is that what the fans like actually want to watch? Like, yeah, I know they're going to be fourth next year. And then I throw a curveball. Like,
They want you to see a reasonable pick.
Yeah.
Florida Panthers dropping 47 points on the season, Matt.
That's going to be insane.
It's going to be wild when it doesn't happen.
But yeah, I mean, like we see him, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just really don't give a shit. Like, you're just like a keyboard warrior. But at the same time, if you have something, who was it? Someone just commented too, and I can't remember what. And I went back and watched. I was like, ooh, I messed up. Everything was right. Everything, like, he was like the fourth in the NHL and goals and stuff. So everything about it was right.
That one was me. It was a 52 goals versus 42 goals.
Yeah, that was it.
That was me.
I can't remember who the player was.
I bet that I was on Hockey DB and whoever was entering the stats punched the keyboard wrong because I looked it up. I was like, damn, he really didn't have 52. He had 42.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I was looking at a different site. I don't want to say it was Hockey DB, but someone had a different site where he had 52 instead of 42, and I want to say it was a keyboard error. So that one is definitely on me.
Yeah. So
because I remember that coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, we definitely made a mistake there, but yeah.
Oh, dude, we make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
I just said that fucking Fleury was on Chicago still, so get fucked, idiots.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, we make mistakes here and there, so it's good to see like the fans. One thing I do want to say though too is for the breakdowns that we've had, all the breakdowns from the 4 divisions we've had, I've taken each team and I put them all up on our YouTube channel.
I hope you skip New Jersey.
All right, buddy, we're gonna get canceled right here, right now. As I wear a fucking New Jersey Devils hat. Yeah, so I put every team down on a YouTube channel for everyone listening on Spotify and Apple. It's Around the Boards on YouTube. And I've been kind of like looking from like the side of stuff. Like, it'll upload and then a few days later it'll be like, like, what does it look like? Ottawa Senators fans are fucking amazing, by the way.
Dude, they're rabid.
They're amazing.
They're like, how do you say the Senators are boring to watch? I'm like, name an all-star on your team.
They shit it all over Chris.
That's
and
fine.
I gave him a round of applause from the back of my
Drake
monitor.
Batherson's sick. I don't watch them enough. I mean, it's all right in the clip that Matt made. Like, I don't watch them. I'm not interested. But this season, I told you, I'm watching certain games. I believe one of them is coming up. It's one of the October early games. But yeah, I just, that's fine. You can tell me that your team's not boring, but
That's fine. Yep.
it's an opinion. It's
That's
boring
one
to me.
thing I don't think I expected, but when I got, I was like, ooh, this is cool as shit. Like, we're getting, like, actual fans of, like, organizations, like, backing up. Like, I know we fucked up at, like, some points, like,
lot.
statistics-wise, and, like,
A lot.
Yeah.
We fuck up like every other word.
But it was also awesome to see Ottawa Senators fans or Dallas Stars fans be like, fuck you, this is what it is, this is my team, this is my organization, like,
And
I'm all for them.
The thing is that they have their team under such a microscope, which is amazing. Like, I love that. I love educated fans that know their team.
Yep.
They have it under such a microscope that they're like, how can you say this is boring? Tim Stützle is fucking amazing. Drake Batherson's fucking awesome. Like,
Brady Tkachuk is cool to
yeah,
watch.
right? Like, he
Yep.
is one of the stars of the league. You're absolutely right. So I need to do a better job and dig in and watch. And that's fine. It's
Yeah,
what it is. But
fine. It is
I
what it is.
definitely, I'm on board to watch and check it out. And who knows? Maybe I'll be rocking a Sens hat by the end of the season.
Yep. I loved every bit of this, by the way. I loved seeing all the comments. Even if it was hate comments, I'm like, no, you're right. Like, I love seeing it.
Worst logo in the league right now.
Worst logo? You fucking throwing a curveball at me right
Worst
now?
logo in the league. Ottawa Senators. Fact.
Bullshit. Islanders,
A
maybe?
senator? You want to be a senator?
Islanders?
Think about it.
The logo's cool as shit.
What's a senator?
What's a Ranger? We're just talking about the New York Rangers.
They are the.
Explain to what a Ranger is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Right. What's a senator?
a fucking lame ass politician, dude. You want to be a lame ass politician with a dumbass logo? They were the Ottawa Spartans with the same logo. That'd be one of the best logos in the league. It's one of the worst.
Restrain far from what I'm trying to say.
What are you trying to say?
We're just trying to be positive here. No bullshit.
I don't know. I'm okay. You be positive, be negative, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm just saying, what's the worst logo in the league?
That's a good question, by the way.
I think it's the Senators, dude. Like, what's a senator?
I really like the Senators logo compared to. I feel like
Have you ever seen a senator wear a helmet like that? Name the Massachusetts Senators, because I can't. They don't wear that. They wear suits and lie to people.
Yeah, but Canada's different. They don't have like senators
They have
like
Parliament, don't they?
Yeah, they have Parliament. So it's not like
Trudeau
the United
to
States.
govern them.
Can you imagine Trudeau's face?
Govern
It's
me
like a
harder,
senator?
Daddy.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, I do appreciate all the comments too. It was actually a weird curveball to like watch flourish.
The Ducks
like,
logo.
Yeah, the fucking.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that's bad.
Once
The
they switched to
fucking-
that Web D.
No, you nailed it. That was it. The Web D. Yep. Nope, that's the worst logo. Yep. No, that's it. You nailed it. It's the fucking Web D. I'm writing that down right now. But yeah, it was awesome. Like, if you have shit talk to say, go ahead, do it. But it needs to be backed up. And
My favorite comments that we get are the ones that tell us we're wrong and back it up.
and back it up.
It's so cool. I'm
All
like,
for
that's fucking great.
That's
dude.
great. I'm like, we're not like guys that will be like, no, dude, I was right. No, that's not us at all. Like, I will definitely take the fact that like, hey, I might have fucked up, you know, and I'll be like, I'll like that.
Ryan McLeod is on schedule
Ryan
to have a breakout season this year.
We mess up names all the time, by the way. Oh, we're just talking about the Prague episode, highlight, I should say, where they're just calling UC Soros.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, we're not the only ones fucking up names.
That's
over
because we're
there.
goalie guys. That's why.
Yep.
We know like 64 players in the league.
Well, who we're messing up Romanov.
No, they were messing it up, remember?
Yeah.
It's Romanov, you're right. He was on the Canadians,
Yeah, right.
and now he's with the Preds or the Sharks. Preds.
Preds, yeah. They call him
Romanov.
Romanov.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ichiraku.
But yeah, we do. Back to what I was talking about. Yeah, I appreciate the comments. I do appreciate everyone commenting and everything. And actually, while we're on the subject, I went back to like one of my mic'd up episodes because I'm actually 2 games in, by the way, and I just haven't. I gotta edit those. and
You've
put
only
them
played
up.
2 games this season?
Yeah,
We've already
so
played
far.
3. We're 1 and 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only 2 games in. I went back to like original episode because I was just like, all right, how did I edit these like back in the day? And someone commented just like, do you ever feel like a piece of shit uploading yourself getting ripped on? I was like, oh my god, like no, I'm good. Like this is nice.
Solid comment.
Solid comment.
That's real resourceful there.
Yep. And it was one of the games where it was like fucking 9-1. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it is.
The worst part is it's one of the games where it was 9-1. There's multiple.
Thank you for that.
The commenter might not be wrong. He's a dick for saying it, but he might not be wrong. Mm-hmm. That's why I haven't bought a mic yet, because I don't want you guys to see me suck. I'm the best. I could be in the show.
We were talking about putting you on the mic.
Yeah, and then you told me you don't want to fuck with it. So how much was that mic? 60?
Well, I was like this because of the setup I have right here, I don't want to fuck with it, but the lav mic is like $60 together.
Right. I'll get that.
So
and then I'll borrow your camera, right?
Yep, that's it. That's all I need to fucking do. And
that works.
I've mic'd up with Chris one episode.
How do you hook the camera up to the?
It's all Bluetooth.
All right. So it'd be two different Bluetooth mics on one camera, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
be nice if we ever played each other.
I'll show you after this. Oh, that'd be nice.
That'd be funny. Two different mics, one camera.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be chaos, though. It'd be all right to edit, though, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
That'd be easy as shit. I was watching a few. I just found him, by the way, and I can't remember who he is, but he's got like he's got Jonathan Quick like pads, like gear, like what do you call those, like pro returns?
Yep.
Like the V6 Vaughn pro returns, like glove blocker pads and everything, and he plays at the LA Kings practice rink. I just found him
in California.
That's nuts. Yeah, and he's got like this. I do the neck cam for anyone who watches, but he does neck cam also, but it's like two GoPros in the net clipped onto like the side. Like, I don't know
outside of the net or the
no,
inside?
like inside of the net, like on the sides.
So you have like the left and right angle, and what is he merging the footage?
Yeah, it's weird.
So
like say if he's on the holding like the right side of the post, and like if shots coming to the left, he used like the right GoPro. That's
I thought you meant like, listen, pucks like top of the dots, right? Top points, right in the slot. He's merging those two videos into one.
No.
Okay.
No, just it was an interesting.
I gotcha.
Take angle. I don't know what.
That'd be a lot to set up.
That's a lot. Well, I don't know what he has. He's got like these clips that like he just like clips off and like takes out. I'm like, I actually commented on his video. I'm like, what the hell do you have? You know, just it might give that a go, if anything. But probably one of the last two things we do want to talk about here, as we're shit talking. How do you think about the Kraken mascot buoy?
So we're gonna go back, and it's buoy for
buoy.
Any of you other landlocked fucking states like Matt. The buoy out in the ocean. That's what they call like the little markers. There are 31 teams in the NHL that have a mascot. There's one team that does not. It's the New York Rangers. We were talking about it earlier. What's a Ranger? Who the fuck knows? Mm-hmm. But this is just a blatant swing and a miss. Like, trolls were really cool, like, 5 years ago when that movie came out for the kids. You know what I mean? Like, internet trolls, never cool.
You're a Kraken, bro.
You're a Kraken. You should be an octopus. You should be like Detroit. Like,
sick. Yep.
Like, I don't know what Detroit's mascot is, but they should be a squid or whatever they fucking throw on the ice that's dead. But if you could be like a fucking mythical sea monster or a troll that has nothing to do with your city, like, why?
Or like, what's his name from Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about. The dude with the
captain's
octopus head.
Octopus head, yeah.
But like, you could be a full-on fucking octopus. That'd be fucking sick.
That'd be fucking
Kraken.
Dude, they had that. Detroit Red Wings had that. Remember, like, during like the playoffs, they put the big octopus down, the 8 legs representing the 8 wins you need to win the cup at the time, and they would like skate through it at the beginning of the game. Do you remember that at all?
I don't remember them coming out of an octopus head. I remember them throwing an octopus on the ice multiple times.
Yeah, they used to come down with like an octopus head. You know how the Vegas Golden Knights, they put down like the helmet now that like they.
Well, I mean, they have it there. I don't remember them putting it down. Kind of like the shark head. It just.
Oh, the
there.
shark head. Yeah, where they come it down on the ice and they used to do that too. But I don't know, it's something fucking cool. Not whatever the hell this shit is.
It's almost like they went to the marketing department and said, "What should we do?" They said this, but it's like, what are you guys from 2018? Like. It looks like it's from that Trolls movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a Disney movie. It's called Trolls. Mm-hmm. In case you didn't know. But I don't know. I'm not for it. I think it's useless. I think they're trying to be gritty when they can't be gritty.
Gritty kind of had the same thought too at the same time. I remember when
But
Gritty...
he didn't. Like, he was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
The troll, it's like, I know what a troll is. Like, what the fuck is Gritty, dude?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is homeless. Like, the troll, it's like, why? Can you explain to me why we are a troll?
Right.
It's dumb. I don't know. It's just a marketing
what
ploy.
is Gritty? What
And
does he have
to
to do with the Flyers?
He's just gritty. He's the
Gritty.
Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies back in the day were gritty.
Well, now Gritty's solidified himself. Like, Gritty is Gritty now. But when Gritty first came out, you're just like, what the hell is this?
No, but what I'm saying is it's because you don't know what the hell he is.
Yeah.
You know what Bowie is. He's a troll.
Troll, yeah.
But, why are the Kraken a troll? Like, it doesn't add up. And it's really just a marketing ploy to reach the youth and to have kids interact with it. But, like, it has nothing to do with the team, and it's stupid.
Right.
I think Blades makes a lot of sense for the Bruins. I think the Canadiens mascot is really fucking weird. He's kind of like gritty.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
But he's just some dude. The Philadelphia Phillies have a weird fucking mascot. You ever seen him? Picture right here for you guys. He's got like this fucking snout. He's like just the Philadelphia Phillies are a baseball team, in case you didn't know.
Oh, no.
The MLB.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the MLB?
I've heard of the MLB.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's like this big green alien monster. But like even Wally at the Sox,
Fenway Park, yeah.
but he's the green monster because of the green monster wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird things that go on with these fucking mascots. But, like, why don't you just be a mascot for your team? The Anaheim Ducks have a duck. It's easy. How hard is that?
What do the LA Kings have?
They got, like, some king-looking guy. Then Vegas Golden Knights, they have a Gila monster, don't they? Or, like, some kind of lizard. But, like, it was supposed to be...
Oh, yeah.
It should have been a knight, don't you think?
Yep.
Like, why are we thinking so hard into this shit? The San Jose Sharks have a shark.
Vegas nailed it when they first came out. Do you remember?
Not with the mascot. They have a fucking lizard monster thing.
I thought they would have nailed it because remember, like
they have a knight that does the shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, why the fuck can't he be your mascot?
And imagine the knight taking down the king. Like,
that'd be sick.
That'd be a cool
That'd
fucking
be
show
fucking
before the game.
cool, but, you know.
They did that, but it's not your mascots. You should behead the mascot when you fucking play them, right? Like the knight just fucking cuts the head off of a bear. Mascot dies.
Dude, you remember how, like, scary...
Too much mascot talk this episode.
Remember how scary...
You know I was a mascot?
For what?
My college?
Really?
That's so funny you never did this. What were you going to say?
No, I need you to finish this conversation.
My college that I went to for a couple of years did not have sports teams, but we had a mascot.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, but it was for orientation and, like, move-in day and, like, all the events around campus, and there were, like, 5 of us that rotated and, like, got to be the mascot. It was fucking cool. Because you could fuck with people. You always have to have a bodyguard with you. That's why I know a lot about mascot stuff.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
The goalies, mascots. You believe I'm a drummer?
Nope.
I'm not. But, like,
You're not.
drummers are really fucking weird, just like mascots and goalies. Right? Like, it would be the perfect trifecta if I knew how to play the drums.
Okay. Well, I kind of want to...
You done with the mascot talk just like that?
Well, yeah, kind of. But I do want to bring up what I was going to say.
All right, go for it.
Where mascots do evolve. Because remember Blades back in the day?
Nope.
He was just some, like, bear. Like,
That's what he is now.
Creepy looking bear.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
him?
I mean, remember the like, Chinese meth bear that they had?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
This
like that weird logo.
8-foot bear just, like, staring out. Like, there was a, at the time... sorry. At the time, like, in 2008-ish, 2007-ish, Blades... I don't even know if his name was Blades at the time. It was like this dude in like an 8-foot bear. Didn't talk, didn't really do anything, just sat there straight. And they had actually this funny ass commercial where
don't date within the division.
don't date within the division. Yeah.
That wasn't the mascot though. They had the mascot then. Blades was around. That was a commercial of like a Bruin.
Oh, I thought that was the mascot.
No, they had a mascot at the same time too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah, the commercials were funny.
Oh, speaking of mascots, you gave a random. Who's the only NHL team without a mascot, right?
Yeah, earlier in the episode, you rewind 20 minutes, you'd see that the Rangers are the only team without an NHL mascot.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yep, I didn't know you said that. I kind of just blocked it from my head.
I think we hit it twice now, but
We did?
Yeah, I think so. I
Oh.
think we mentioned it twice.
I might have been thinking of like my next topic of conversation.
Probably, yeah. That's how I do it too. Sometimes I block shit out.
Block it out.
Don't worry about what he's saying. I got something good to say. This is almost like a behind the scenes episode right now.
Almost. This is what happens when we drink, like, I've had, like, at least 7 Trulies right now. We still haven't done a nip. how many White Claws
A
have you
few.
been doing? Yeah.
A few.
Yeah, we've been at this for quite some time now. I think we sat down at like, what, 8:30?
Yeah, we've
Started
been here.
drinking.
I missed you.
It's now
That's what it was.
12:45.
I didn't see you last week.
Yeah, it's been like
No
2
one
weeks.
else wants to talk hockey with me because I'm a genius.
Yeah, any of your fans just like comment what you
I
think
know
about
everything,
what he
dude.
said.
Let's see what you have to say at the end of the season, you
Okay.
fans.
So we actually have something I do want to cheers to for the for our shot. But the last thing I do want to talk about is Puerto Rico, 83rd double IHF member. And your comment to this was actually hilarious in the DMs. We were just like, dude, I think every year some countries should just join double AHF. And I'm like, dude, just like a team that like can't.
They
like,
have to, dude. That's what I think. Mexico is, making headlines for competing and beating other teams that have been in the IIHF now. They're starting to get a team together. Ethiopia, Egypt, all these teams are starting to get recognition for it. And I think every year the IIHF should make it their responsibility to pump that team up and get them into the IIHF. What? What's wrong with that?
Just a team that like a country that like can't even afford.
All right, this is going to sound bad, but Kenyan marathon runners are fast as fuck. Imagine if the IIHF gets behind Kenya and gets them on the ice and says, let's fucking go. And they're like fucking Connor McDavid out there. A whole team of fucking McDavids buzzing by everyone,
Bunch of Connor
burying
McDavid's,
pucks.
Cale Makars, just like
just
going through.
burying the puck. You can't catch them. Like if they're faster than you, what are you going to do?
Right.
You can't get the puck from them.
Go straight from the Olympics. Like, what do they call the running Olympics? The track? Straight to hockey.
Track and field.
Track and
Ugandans, I believe, are very fast too. Like there's certain countries that like they train so hard for these marathons. It's like the most important thing in the world to them, and they just like smoke everyone. It's sick.
Yeah, this country.
And even just people. Like think about like the U.S. Marathon runners. It's just like this is my life.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win this.
right. These countries are just like this is like their sport.
Oh,
This
dude,
is what
ping
they
pong?
excel at.
I don't know the teams, but like China is definitely a ping pong team,
Up
right?
there, yep.
Like watching Asian teams play ping pong, it's fucking like
Unbelievable.
electric, dude.
I think our friend Kyle sent me like a post, or I saw
I
something.
love seeing those sick rallies where they're fucking 12 feet back from the table, and then out of nowhere the guy's like dink, and it's like
Dink.
this little doom,
Little
and the guy
doop.
gets there, he's like wah, lays out fucking back onto the table. The guy saves it. It's like fucking they're still going. Oh my god! Imagine like either like soccer or like UFC announcers announcing a ping pong match.
Oh my god.
That'd be sick.
Mhm.
Or like pickleball. Pickleball's getting big. You played pickleball before?
What the fuck is pickleball?
So pickleball is kind of like, those big wiffle ball with all the holes in them ball?
yes.
They're like
yes,
yellow
yep,
and they have like a million
Yep.
holes. And now take like a ping pong paddle and make it the tennis racket size.
Holy
And now
shit.
take the tennis court and put 2v2 and now put a glass box around it all with no ceiling. And you can hit the
What?
ball off the ground, over the net, off the back wall, and up and out of the arena. And the dude can go out the door and he has to play it. Like, pickleball is sick, dude. Pickleball is sick.
All right, well, we're going to have to YouTube some stuff after this.
Pickleball is becoming like recreational around here, and most of them aren't like open top, but like walled in. A lot of them are just like an indoor tennis court, but smaller, and like they make it so that you don't have to be like crazy athletic because it's 2v2. You have your little area, their little area, blah blah blah. Yeah, let's have fun. Let's fucking
Nice.
play some rich sport, whatever, like croquet. But dude, when I see the Olympic ones and like the real competitors do it, like it's fucking sick.
It's sick.
Yeah.
100% with you.
You gotta check it out, dude. Pickleball's sick.
We'll be checking it out after
We'll be
this.
watching pickleball highlights after this. You ever see, is it tetherball?
Yeah.
Where they have like a
What the-
certain, I don't know how they referee it, dude. The guy's watching it on the line, and you have a certain amount of times that the ball can go around this pole, and then you have to fucking smash it back to the other team, and it's like 2v2, but it's like, you can't track this fucking ball.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
They're like
that's shit.
predicting where it's going to go based on how this ball on a rope spins, and they're fucking smacking it, and the refs are like, nope, point. I'm like, what? How did he even see that?
The refs are better than the players.
I know, right?
insane.
It's like, dude, 2020 vision.
All right, let's end it on like let's end it.
What? Episode's over already? I've been having fun.
How the fuck did we get to pickleball to tetherball for a hockey podcast?
All right. Lastly, Wait, you're actually like calling it quits here?
Let's call it because
We didn't even do a post picks.
Well, the last thing. Oh, we can do that.
What do you
too.
have? What do you have?
Last thing I do want to talk about is Tage Thompson getting a Gordie Howe hat trick versus Carolina.
Yeah, he's fucking nasty. We know. Versus Carolina, that's pretty impressive.
Carolina, that's really impressive.
Yeah. All right. Let's circle back.
Okay.
Let's go back to another sport while we, meaning you, think about a post picks for this week.
Ugh.
The MLB playoffs have started this week as well. And yes, I know, but playoff baseball is kind of like playoff hockey, where like it's very fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like demand that you watch some playoff baseball because you just make me. But there are, you just spit that on yourself. There are 12 teams in the MLB playoffs, and the way they're doing it, there are wild card games to play. So the top 4 teams from each division have a bye, and then the bottom 8 play a wild card game. No, I'm sorry. The bottom there's 16. All right, so 4 teams get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
2 teams play the wild. I don't know. There's 12 fucking teams. All right, stop.
Jesus, you didn't do any research on.
I
this
watched
at
it
all.
on the television earlier, and here's what I'm at. Okay.
Oh fuck me.
There's
Okay.
12 teams that make the playoffs, and then the wild card games happen, and then here's your 8 teams to play in the playoffs rather than 16.
Mm-hmm.
In the NHL, 16 teams make it. 16 out of 32. MLB is only 12 out of 32. Think about how much of a difference that is. That's instead of half, it's like, 3/8 of the league make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because you've lost the wild card game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there was one change that you could create in the NHL playoffs, what would it be?
Good question.
You can take some time to think about it, but like the main thing that brought me to this was the fact that instead of playing a best of 7, those teams that are playing the wild card games are playing a best of 3. So yes, you've qualified for playoffs in air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
You need to win your wild card series against this other team in 3 games, and then you go on to play the actual bracket of 8 teams.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a good question.
You can change anything you want. I don't give a fuck what it is. You can make them play pickleball for home court advantage. It'd be kind of cool to see them play. You know how they play the soccer game where they keep the ball up in the circle?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to see them play that for like fun, to see which team is the best at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, fuck me. Because you like to see the overtime, but I still feel like 3-on-3 overtime and like the playoffs would be fucking insane.
Yeah, so I think one of my options was you have a regular 5-on-5 overtime for the first, and you see all these games going to like 4, 5, 6.
Okay, yep.
So now you lose one player for the second.
Oh.
So it's 4-on-4 in the second period, and 3-on-3 if you have to go to 3 overtimes, which probably wouldn't happen because it's 20 minutes. Yeah. My change would be I truly do want to see a 1v8 playoff seeding. I don't want to see 5 teams from this division, 3 teams from that. I want to see the 1 through 8 in the West, the 1 through 8 in the East, and match 1v8, 2v7, etc.
I'm with you
make it happen.
I'm with you on that. 100%. Yep.
Yeah. But that's why I was looking at the MLB playoffs.
Interesting.
And we do have some awesome news for you fans this week because I talked to our producer this week, and he told me we're clear to tell him that the website is going to launch on the date of the NHL starting off their regular season.
We finally have merch.
We got some merch for you guys. We got an awesome website to check out. You want to reach out to us. You want to tell us how much we suck in our email. That's fine, too.
That's fine. Do it. Do it up. I remember like fucking like a year and a half ago, I was on the I was doing a mic'd up with Matt episode, and I talked about, it's like, yeah, dude, we're almost done. Then it was just such a curveball after I talked about it. I was like, oh man, like this doesn't work. Finally figured it out. Finally figured out a good merch place, and finally got it up.
Yeah, we're going to have hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers for you guys. So check it out. We got awesome colors, any kind of customizations you want. If you guys see like, oh, I want it in this color, like let's say right now our logo is black and yellow and white because we're from Boston, right? If you want to see it in your team's color, we can get it done for you.
Yep.
Like it's that easy. So if you want, I don't know, an Anaheim Ducks, Web D color logo, just hit me up.
You got it.
You want Bowie the Troll on the shirt? We can't do that, but we'll give you something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's funny. I want to go back to what am I trying to say? A comment that I had. I think I was on Toronto Maple Leafs where this guy thought for some reason we're like a Bruins podcast.
Yeah, I wonder why, Matt.
I wonder why. So our The guy who did
Also, we talk about them every week of the show.
Yeah. The guy who did the podcast, did a logo for us, James Scales. Great friend of mine. He does logos.
He's going to be on our website.
It's going to be on our website, so you can check him out if you ever want to do a logo, if you want to do anything.
Graphic design related.
Graphic design, anything, go for him. Just great guy, hardworking guy.
Good guy, local guy.
Good guy, local guy. This, when I say good, I mean, like, this wasn't the logo I was looking for, by the way. Like, I gave him some, like, a hockey net with, like, post to post in there, and 2 weeks later, he gives me a little sheet of like what he came up with, and I was like, this is 1,000 times better than what I pictured in my head. So that's why we have this and the another logo that he made for us. But so picture for him too. He's not like a really hockey guy, so this is why he came up with the colors here: black and white and black. Sorry, what am I trying to say? Black, yellow, and white for the Boston Bruins too. So I think that's why everyone thinks we're just like a straightforward like Bruins podcast.
Yeah, it's also the fact that we talk about the Bruins every week too. But
I mean, they're part of the NHL, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't make us a Bruins podcast.
Yeah. You're right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time we talked about X team?
So, okay, let's finish it up here.
Okay.
Oh, also post pick. I know what you're gonna pick. Worst team in the NHL this season: Coyotes or Blackhawks?
We already did something like that. I'm pretty sure. I don't have the picks open. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up.
You think so?
Coyotes or Blackhawks, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be just them too, because I was just saying the Blackhawks are gonna be worse, and then you thought the Coyotes are gonna be worse. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick Blackhawks to be worse, and you're gonna pick the Coyotes to be worse.
Who will finish dead last? You have Chicago. I have Arizona. So your post pick is
holy shit.
6 weeks old.
We already have that.
Yeah, we already got that one. So we'll have to come up with one. We're gonna do it before the end of the episode.
Ugh.
But we do have our website. We will have our website up and running for you on the date that the NHL kicks off. I don't have that date right here because I'm a jackass. But it is coming up shortly, probably 5 days from now. I would assume 10/13.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I told the producer that we're gonna get it running. We're gonna get it going on that date, and I'm very excited for it. I hope you guys like the merch. Check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonably priced. It's really good quality. And any issues you have, please let us know. Anything you want, special requests, we can edit and alter any kind of things that you want. Like, yeah, that's really all I got on that.
Perfect. It's exactly what we're working for, you know? Like, I think originally before we were kind of very limited with what we can do. And I'm like, it's not what I'm looking for. And then we finally found a spot where editing and whatever we want to do is whatever. Just up in the air, and we can do whatever the fuck you want. So that's exactly what we're looking for, and exactly why we're here. What do you got up there? I see something.
All right, so I got Mackenzie Blackwood and Vitek Vanacek on the New Jersey Devils. They are exactly 1 month apart on their birthdays.
Ooh.
Who is the starter at the end of this season? Who plays? All right, not who's the starter. Who's plays better? More games at the end of this season?
Vitek Vanacek or Mackenzie Blackwood? I'll say Mackenzie Blackwood. I was already pumping his tires before we even recorded, because I hope he has a comeback season.
You already know which way I lean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of Blackwood personally. I think it's more of a Devils thing, but Vanacek being the new face of this organization, they signed him like they want him to grow and develop. I think he's going to end up playing more, but that's it.
Yep. So, with that said, we have a last end of the episode nip, which is not a nip. It's a Jello shot.
Please help.
You need help, man?
Yeah, thanks.
Jesus.
Don't spill it on your notebook.
What do you mean? It's Jello.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, dude. Now you got COVID. Give me yours.
Okay.
I'll do yours with my mouth.
Yeah, do that.
You get some on you?
Bit.
I thought it was Jello you spilled.
No, we're good.
You liar. What am I going to do now, dude? Wipe it off before you put it in your mouth. I hope you guys saw that. I tried to bite the Jello shot thing like he did, and it ripped. Yeah, just like that, right in his mouth. Give me this one.
Oh, I got it.
You're taking that one. Ew.
Well, I got it.
Well, all right. My bad. I I haven't been able to open the McGillicuddy's one for like weeks, and I tried to open this and it didn't work. So
All right. Well, sorry about that for our listeners.
we got strawberry slammer slurp Jello shots. Let's go.
All right, so I got a dedication here too for both of us. Pavel Novak, who's a Minnesota Wild prospect, cleared of cancer. Beat cancer, by the way. He's been battling cancer, and this week came out and said he was fully cleared of it. So congratulations to Pavel Novak.
It seems like there's like one player every year that beats cancer and plays. So
Awesome.
Cheers to him. I hope he has a long, successful career, and I really hope that he, lights it up this year, makes a name for himself in that sense. So
Why is it so difficult?
You got it. Now you can do it with your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. See, we did the smart move like last time, and we let it
Cool down. Warm up.
Warm up, yeah. So cheers, bud.
All right, cheers, Chief.
Oh, dude, Jello shots are so weird. Like, I'm so used to.
There's no burn though.
There's no burn, but I'm just so used to. That's what I'm looking for, like liquid, and not Jello.
Yeah, right.
So it's just a weird, but that's actually pretty good. Strawberry?
Yeah, strawberry slammer, bro.
Wow. Nice.
All right, you ready for me to call it out?
Yeah, call it up, bud.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and our website link is posttopostpod.com, correct?
Correct.
All right, enjoy, folks. Posttopostpod.com. Buy some merch. Support us. Support you. Support us supporting you. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.